There, just give you a little peek of what we got out here right now. Nice winter wonderland. Yeah. And today it is sub-zero. It's below zero out there. So I guess if you're living in my vicinity or around me, best thing you can do is thank God that you got shelter and a place to stay and heat and all that. To those who don't, my sincerest condolences and prayers go out to you. And hopefully the Vikings will come through again like they did last week, but we'll see. Something I wanted to discuss today with all y'all that are going to listen to this and share, I'm going to share this with, is this this new guy that's come out there and started this movement. And I gotta say, I actually do like this guy. I like a lot of his ideas. I think he's really onto something. Now, I'm also a little leery because anything that appeals too much to emotions and to triggering phrases and too much appealing to a demographic's need, I'm a little leery of, but I still think he has some very good points. I like the guy. I've pushed him a little bit on Facebook and stuff, and encourage people to listen to him a little bit. And the Gryopers movement, you know, is that Nick Fuentes and the Gryopers movement? They're really onto something. And in fact, I'm kind of on the tail end because of my age, because I'm more middle-aged now, and his audience is more the younger, I'd say Gen Z, millennial Gen Zers, you know, that kind of stuff. And I'm a middle-aged guy in a lot of regards, but I'm on the tail end of it, maybe the tail end of this, so I can, or even maybe what I was feeling 10 years ago resonates with me quite a bit, you know, the message and what he's saying resonates with me quite a bit. There are things I disagree with him on. He's a Catholic and I'm a Protestant when it comes to being a Christian, and there's a number of other things, and sometimes the terminology he uses I'm not the biggest fan of, which is why I say I try to stay away from emotional appeal as much as possible. But it is nice to have somebody who will voice a demographic's frustrations in a logical and even respectful manner without being too, you know, us against them. But sometimes when it comes down to it, it is us against them. You know? You do have to be divisive, and Jesus Christ himself was divisive. But one thing I've noticed, and what people are, I've noticed, and this is with men, you know, it doesn't matter, black men, white men, any kind of men, group of men, demographic. And it tells you too with the female influence out there. You know, they say, well, he's a virgin, so why do we listen to a guy that's a virgin? For one, and this started in I remember about when I was in my, it probably was even there before that, in the 70s and the 80s, and the peerness and the peers and the clickiness and stuff, that men started, you know, viewing other men through the lens of, well, how many women have you had sex with, or, you know, how many chicks have you been with, or something. And that's a simp or cuck mindset again. Again, you're valuing another man on his sexual exploits. For one thing, I'm going to say it, it's really none of your business. To the guys out there that ask other guys this, or view other guys through this lens, I'm going to say, what is his sexual experience or lack of? Why do you care? How about that? Why do you care about what another man has stuck his dick in? Excuse my French, but yeah. Why do you care about that? Why do you care about that? What does that value anything? Or if a guy's been married for 10 years or whatever. Why do you go to that card when you want to listen to a guy or not listen to a guy, or value his opinion or not value his opinion? I'd like somebody who, has an answer for that to come back to me on that, on this page, or write in the comments section, or DM me on Facebook, and write me an answer on that, please. The other thing, and I saw this feminist dyke that did this video on, why you shouldn't listen to Nick Fuentes, because well, for one thing, I don't listen to women, period. On YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, don't listen to them. I'm not subscribed to any of their channels. The only one I listen to somewhat, there's this lady J that the reason I listen to her some is she actually critiques other women and tries to see men as human beings and not as these animals, or just as we become sponges, money sponges for these women to bail them out, or to just have them blame all their problems and dysfunction on us collectively. She does that, so I actually just appreciate the thought, trying to provide a balance here, because there's been for a long time now a horrible imbalance. And I'm even seeing with the Nick Fuentes, who's saying some very intelligent, controversial but intelligent things, that because of his lack of sexual experience, people are gonna not take him seriously, or he can't be taken seriously because of that. And as in regards to myself, I'm just gonna say this, I was part of that too, where I'll be honest, I was very insecure when I was younger about how other women viewed me and how other men viewed me, especially in that regard, and being teased about my lack of sexual experience, which, just for the record, I'm not a virgin, but you know what? When it comes to anything else, it's none of your business. It's none of your business. Plain and simple. That's all I'm going to say. And actually, when guys get asked that from now on, by men or by women, you know what you say? This is to the younger generation. If a guy asks you or a woman asks you about your sexual past, you say it's none of your business. And if they want to get funny or assume something, because people will assume something, let them assume something and just say none of your business. It's none of your business. Plain and simple. And this is how backwards and how bad we are in our culture, that we actually, people will do that. They post everything online. Everything. Why do you do that? Again, why? Why? Male, female, why are you posting your sexual history online? Why? And it's also why we're going to hell in a handbasket. So that's all I got. If you got any answers to these questions, let me know. In the meantime, just remember who I am. Remember who I am.